Hello, and welcome to Writer Rant, author advice in 5 minutes or less, because I have to get back to writing and so do you. So last week I talked a little bit about titles and covers, and how a title really needs to grab your reader to kind of give them an idea of what it's about. I want to go over covers this week. So last year I went over and I talked about covers, how a lot of times you have cover creators that are in a lot of these sites like CreateSpace or Lulu that essentially, oh hey, I just need something to be put on my book, and then you slap something together and you throw it out the door, and that's great. I mean, I've done that for quite a few of my books early on before I got better at figuring out how to do covers. So that's kind of the low level, is your cover creators. And so the next step up is, hey, I'm good enough with Photoshop or whatever you're using in order to create a cover that you think, oh hey, you know what, I could do better than a cover creator. The trick with this is that, okay, way up at the top is the people who pay really good artists to get really good work done, and so a lot of times that sells their book, is those kind of book covers. Problem is that most people don't have enough money for that, so obviously they're going to go with something that's a little cheaper, and so either you hire a cheaper artist or you do it yourself. And when you're doing it yourself, it's like, well, okay, I can't just have random geometric shapes filling up my cover. I got to have something that, looks good and gives an idea of what the book's about. And so a lot of people will turn to stock photos. The problem with that is that, especially in genre-specific stuff, and I see this a lot in the urban fantasy genre and romance genres, is that there's going to be repetition of stock photos. So stock photography, while it's a great idea, it's overused. And that's part of the problem. It's like, okay, well, how do I know this book's not any different from this book? And it's almost an identifier to say, okay, this author's just starting out, they're probably not very good, and so it's almost a turnoff to the people who are browsing through lots of covers and see, oh, I'm seeing the same stock photo through a bunch of these. If anything, it might turn them off from the whole set of them, and that's not very good at all. And so it's when these stock photos are very obvious, it's almost worse than hiring just a bad artist at that point, because then you're kind of relying on, okay, there's only so much stock photography out there, and my genre is very specific, and so every book you see is going to have this stock photo in it, and it's like, okay, well, they kind of stand out, but not in a good way at that point, because they all just kind of muddle together and are just kind of the same kind of stuff. And you'll see a lot of this stock photography in videos too. So people who do videos for their books, trailers or whatnot, and put them up on YouTube or wherever, you'll see a lot of stock photography there, or stock video where it's just like, oh hey, it's some generic thing that kind of has to do with my book, and it's like, yeah, that's great, but maybe it's a personal preference is mine. I don't know. I like to see covers that kind of are a little more abstract, kind of a little more, oh, I wonder what this is about and stuff. Like, oh, well, there's this guy that's got stubble and he's got a hood and he looks dark and mysterious. It's like, okay, yeah, I see that guy in probably 20 covers in every 1,000. It's like, can we find somebody else? Can somebody else just go out there and take other stock photography? If anything, just go around, shop around, try and see what other stock photography is out there. Because if you're looking through what books are in your genre, you're going to start finding the images that are used a lot, and you want to avoid those like the plague. Or if anything, save up a little money and actually hire an artist and tell them, hey, let's not use stock photography, let's try and go in this direction, so that way we're all good. So, what are some kind of covers that you've seen that have stock photography that is pretty obvious? Drop a comment below and let us know so we can go over and look at them and see, is this a good example, is this a bad example? And what are some other things that you've noticed that you would want to rant about? Drop a comment below and maybe I'll get to it in a future episode. So thanks for watching this week's Writer Rant. I'm Benjamin M. Weilert.